It's on. It's recording.
All right. Well, good morning, everybody, and welcome to our positive approach to care, normal aging versus non-normal aging. Before we get started, I want you to know that if you need restrooms, they're out the front door you came in, down the hall to the left, men's first, ladies second. There's a break room across the hall from here. When we take a break, you're more than welcome to get whatever's out on the tables, or coffee, tea, whatever you'd like. This is going to be about a 2-hour training, and it's going to assist me in obtaining my PAC independent trainer's certificate. So appreciate you being here. First thing we're going to talk about is our agenda. Workshop objectives, different learning styles, adult experiential learning cycle, normal aging, approximately be about an hour. We'll take a break, and then we'll do the not normal aging, which is approximately an hour, and then we'll do some feedback for the workshop. So the first thing I'd like you to look at is different learning styles. As you can see in your packet, we have visual learning, auditory learning, and reading and writing learning. So just amongst yourselves, discuss what is your way of learning. What best suits you when it comes to learning?
I learn by doing over and over again.
Okay? Same thing?
Same for me as well.
Doing it, repeat, repetition.
My first is auditory,
Okay?
and then it's visual, and then it's doing.
Okay?
I would say visual and then doing.
Okay. And the reason we didn't do introductions is because we're all employees and we know each other. We're with Hope Healthcare, so if you're curious, that's why we didn't do introductions. And if we had a big group, we wouldn't do introductions either, because it'd take us forever to get to know everybody in the audience. Just so you know. So what's our workshop objectives today? At the end of this, you'll be able to compare and contrast typical aging versus atypical aging related to various cognitive functions. Describe 5 sensory input and processing systems, highlighting the dominant role of vision and the major differences between protective and discriminating sensations in each, and discuss the impact of changing sensory awareness and processing as dementia progresses. The other item I put in your folder is a colored picture of the brain. We probably won't be going over this, but it'll give you an idea different parts of the brain when Teep is speaking about different things that go on in the brain in different parts of the brain. So that's for references. So we will begin. We will be using the ALEC, which is the Adult Learning. Where do we go? No, we go. I go here. I'll go here and get it for you. It's the Adult Learning Cycle. And this is what we'll be doing throughout our training. There we go. Basically, as we view the video, we're going to talk about our experience. We're going to share. We're going to process what we're thinking. We're going to connect, and then we're going to apply. All right? So this is kind of how this is going to go. Now, not every time we take a pause, which we will be doing in between segments of TIPA's program, we will use this type of learning throughout the 2-hour training. Also, during the training, Tipa will do a lot of hand motions. So when she does that, go along with her. Do her hand motions. If she puts her hands up here, she'll explain why. Put your hands up there. It helps you better retain what she's talking about when she's talking about the brain. This side, back here. What it does. What that part of the brain does to the body. All right? And if we lose it, then what are we going to do? All right? So let's begin.
What we're going to talk about now is the difference between normal aging and not normal aging. Now understand, I did not say dementia. I just said normal aging, not normal aging, because one of our big misconceptions in this country is that if it's not normal aging, it's going to be dementia. And that's not true. So we've got to get that one off the table. So what I'm going to do very quickly is give you 2 quick little role plays that are going to take you through normal versus not normal. So I'll do normal first. I'm in the living room, and I've been watching a TV program, and the program finishes, and I decide, you know what, I'm supposed to. I think I'm going to go make would be? Betty, of course it's Betty, sorry. Recognized your voice right away, just couldn't think of your name. Yeah, I seen him on there. Huh? What? Oh, no, I'd love to get together. Oh, today? Okay, what? At 2? This afternoon? All right. Oh, at the mall. Okay, well, which end? Mason's. Oh, that's where J.C. Penney's was, right? They moved out and then I know what you're talking about, absolutely. The menswear, is that the same, yep, I know where to be, 2 o'clock, I'll be there. Wait right inside the door, I'll be waiting right inside the door, it's supposed to be a little chilly Saturday, yeah, huh? What? Oh, they opened a new chocolate store. Oh, yeah. You know me, you know what I'm gonna get. I'll get caramels, I always get caramels, you're gonna get, I know you like the, white flaky stuff in chocolate. Yes, coconut, of course. That's you. Huh? Oh, no, I'll be happy to call and see if Margaret wants to come, that'd be great. Yeah. Oh, the vacation pictures? Oh, yeah, I'll bring them. Wait till you see yourself in that bathing suit. Oh, I was just kidding. Just teasing you, you know how I am, such a teaser. Huh? What? No, I didn't say anything, I was just talking to myself, writing a note. All right, sweetheart, well, I'll see you then. Love you. Okay, bye-bye. What did I come in from? Okay, hang on. I was in the living room, I was watching the TV.
Might have to do it on your laptop.
Program in.
See the speaker icon?
They haven't called on it.
Oh, why pause? Make this unpause and replay. Unpause and replay.
Okay, let me think on this. Okay, I was in the living room, I was sitting right here. Okay, the program ended and I thought, all of your brains are going, oh shit, I have this. Every single one of your brains is going, oh my god. And your brain is going, that's not the best, that can't be the best, I don't think that's the best, that's just normal. Is that normal? I think that's normal. Your brain is talking to itself. One side is going, I think you got.
It's doing that again.
No, she didn't say that was a dementia. I think she said that was just not normal. I think that was okay. That happens every single time. The room gets dead silent. Because if you just think old people are worried about this crap, no, we're all concerned. Because you're going, I think I've done that. I did that just yesterday. What you've totally forgot, because in that moment your brain is going, because I said that was normal. I was going to do normal first. So here's what I think I better do. Do this. Roll your shoulders. I think we better do it one more time. You need to let it go. Breathe out all the way because you guys are going. And by the end, your brain's going, oh my God, you got it. I got it. Especially when I had to come back and sit in the chair. You're going, oh my God. So.
Okay. So, question to you all. Has something like this ever happened to you?
Yes.
Oh, yes.
Yes, definitely.
An example? What's an example, maybe?
I would say going to the kitchen and getting something to drink, and then I'll walk to another room. I'm like, why am I in this room? Or why did I walk in this room?
So, you think that's normal aging? Right? You don't know. You're going to find out, let me tell you. So have you ever noticed others in your life doing these sort of things?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Family?
I don't know if I've noticed it, because that's more like inner monologue that I do for myself.
Mm-hmm.
And so I don't think I've paid attention where somebody's just kind of like left the room.
They just-
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So, think to yourself for a few minutes, why do you think this happened? What Tipa was going through.
Trying to do too many things at once. Multitask or whatever you want. I mean,
Multitasking, absolutely. And you'll find as we go through the video, that our brains can only intake so many things before we start losing what we took in to begin with. So, did you notice how your breathing thinking changed as you watched? Why was that?
Cause I got it.
Cause you
Cause you think you can. Cause you think you got it.
Yeah, absolutely. So when your brain gets anxious and nervous, it can dump cortisol, a stress hormone, into your system, which causes you to become even more distressed and your brain not to work as well as it normally does. Breathing slowly and deeply and making sure to breathe out fully will help drop your cortisol level back down so you can think, process, and control your emotion. So let's everyone just take a deep breath 3 times and blow it out. Again. And one more time.
Could you read that line again about the dumping cortisol thing?
Absolutely. When your brain gets anxious or nervous, it can dump cortisol, a stress hormone, in your system, which causes you to become even more distressed and your brain not to work as well as it normally does. Breathing slowly and deeply and making sure to breathe out fully will help drop your cortisol level back down so you can think, process, and control your emotions. Did you get all that, or did you need? Okay. So, what we want to do is do what Tipa does on the video to help reinforce the 5 ways we take data into our brain. When Tipa gives hand motions, mentioned this earlier, to show the ways we take in data, you do it too, please. Okay? Any questions before we go on? All right, here we go.
Okay, so here we go. Hand up. Human beings have 5 ways to take things from, do this, out there and get them in their brain. 5 ways to take data from the world around you and put it in here so you can use it. You can process it, you can understand it, you can appreciate it. So the number 1 way, notice how it's separated from all the others. It's special. Do this, be an artist. Visual data. Visual data is the most powerful incoming data. It is what human beings prefer, and it is what they want. First, in any way of collecting data, they want to see something first. It allows them to see it, and then they can start to think about what they want to do next. But what you is the most powerful sensory input that you're going to get in your brain. But here's the interesting thing about vision. Show me what you see with. Point to what you see with. Here's what I'm going to tell you. Put your hand back here. This is where you process in your brain what you see. So brain activity in the occipital area, the back of your brain, is where you process visual input. There's a little bit of distance there, isn't there? What connects the input system to the processing system is wiring. And in dementia, all wiring goes on the fritz and then dies. Just so you know. So there's a lot of wiring here, and it's complicated wiring. It's actually fairly complicated because how many eyes do you have? 2, so you've got to take in data from 2 eyes, integrate those 2 pieces of data, process it, and then make sense of it. So all that's happening in the back of the brain. I'll show you in a few minutes. There's a huge amount of your brain devoted to visual processing. It's huge. There's also wiring between what you see and some other parts. Second way that you get data in your brain, take your index finger. Oh, look at how it points to things. What you hear, auditory incoming. Auditory data is the second most important way that human beings get data into their brain. Auditory. But if you hear a sound off to the side, what will you immediately do? Look, because this is primary. This alerts you to go look. what it is you wanna see. So when it comes to dementia, visual than auditory. People with dementia pay more attention and are getting more value out of what they see than what they hear. This is secondary, this is primary. Guess what caregivers like to do a lot though? Do this. Y'all love to run your mouth. You think they're paying attention to what you're saying. What they're doing is watching you when you're saying it. And they're picking up on your visual cues, but they're missing the content cues. Because what happens is we think they're processing what we're giving them verbally, and what they're really processing is how we look visually and how we sound, but not necessarily the content. And because we're not on the same page, they're not getting this, they're getting this, we think they're getting this. This is not gonna match. Who has to change? We do, so we have to use less of this and start with this. And learn to use visual more than auditory. Third way you get data is, auditory. Put your hands right here. Your temporal lobes. Both sides are involved, but they're very different. This side is very different than this side. How many ears do you have? 2. All forms of dementia, all forms attack the brain asymmetrically. It means it attacks one side of the brain more than the other. That's how it works. It hits one side and then it spreads more. So what happens in general, the left side of the brain is generally attacked sooner and faster and more devastatingly than the right side of the brain. We don't know exactly why, but in most patterns of dementia attacks, you're going to see more on the left than on the right. Left, right, language areas, but they're different. We'll come back to that in a little bit. Third way that you get data in your brain, take that middle finger, drop it down, and touch it to the back of your other hand. Now this is actually complicated, and this is one of the most complicated, and it also takes up a lot of brain space. This is sensory motor. You feel something, you do something, you do something, you feel something. They're wired together, so that when you feel something, if you like it, you do more of it. If you don't like it, you stop doing it. So when you feel something, you do something to change or encourage or facilitate what you're feeling, and if you don't like it, you don't do it anymore. Here's the biggest challenge of dementia care. Turn to the person next to you. And if you will come up this time. All right, now what we're going to do is eliminate vision, and we're not going to talk. Okay, so we're taking away 2 of the ways that you would normally be able to get data into your brain, and I'm just going to use that third way. Go ahead and do that so you get the feel of what it feels like when you're doing this. So you know each other. This is not a good one to start with, because most people are not fond of the idea of starting an interaction like this. And I do this particularly so you start with the idea of touch until you've done a visual, verbal, and only then are you allowed to do the touch. You got to make sure they come together. So here's what we're going to do. You close your eyes.
You want to scoot down?
People with dementia, put your hands behind your back, because I want you to feel like you're vulnerable.
Just one of it. Just one
What
of
this
it.
disease does, it rocks
you
your
put your
skills,
hand
so you
behind your
suddenly are pretty vulnerable. And you thought you were competent. Okay, so caregivers, here's what you're going to do. You watch me and do to them what I do to my person. Okay, y'all should have your eyes closed, so there should be no peeking. Notice how many of you opened them up to see what I was up to. Yeah, they're sneaky like that. Okay, you ready? We're going to use these. Are you ready?
Oh, we're doing that? Okay.
And now, one
Being
more.
appropriate, believe
One more.
She's like, stranger danger.
Now, I'm going to pause you. How many of you found at some
I
point
don't know what the Wi-Fi or what the.
It keeps buffering.
you were being touched, your eyes
It's
were
buffering
like,
all the time.
Okay. So, did you enjoy that experience?
how many of you realize you had a really hard time not going, "Oh, wait a minute, hang
I was
on there.
saying, that was weird.
And I'm like, I'm getting a head massage.
I know.
I was like, keep doing that.
Yeah.
So,
There's your
Now, what I want you to do right now is touch yourself where we just touched you. Go ahead and touch yourself where we made the touches.
I think it's just because it's buffered, so it's like behind. See how the
Yeah.
yep.
your blue line versus your shadow.
Okay. All right. So, What did you notice the volunteer did when Tipa was touching her?
I didn't see her.
We didn't see
I
it.
didn't see
I had my eyes closed.
Yeah.
She's just
I was the patient.
recoiling a little bit and just kind of surprised by it all.
Okay. How do you think she felt?
Uncomfortable. Yeah, maybe
Yeah.
uncomfortable.
Yeah. Because, you know, you got your eyes closed.
Don't know what's happening or why.
Exactly, yeah. So, the volunteer was being a good sport. What do you think she wanted to do?
Slap her hands away and say stop.
Yeah.
Yeah, why didn't she actually hit Tipa or run away?
She's playing a role, but yeah.
Playing a role.
She's playing a role, but
Yeah,
but normally that would be a different response probably.
exactly. If you didn't know somebody and you did that?
Right.
Yeah. So what do you think you would say or feel if you had dementia and somebody did that?
Well, I wouldn't have a filter.
Yep.
There
Stop.
wouldn't be anything stopping me
I
to,
mean, I'd
yeah.
lash
you're-
out or back up or, I mean,
Okay,
Start yelling.
fight or flight, yeah, flee,
or
flight.
freeze, whatever.
Yep.
Yep, absolutely.
Freeze, yeah.
Yep. So when we're doing TAC, what might be the harm in doing to rather than doing with people with dementia? Rather than to, but doing with.
It's just the response you're gonna
Yeah,
get.
it'd probably make them a little bit more combative if you're doing it to them. and not with
Versus
them.
doing it with them.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like the caregiver versus the care partner.
Yep.
Right, caregiver's doing often for, and care partner sounds like if it were comparing, it's the with
Right.
partnership.
Exactly. Good point, Mike. So everyone think quietly to yourself for 20 seconds. What is one care situation where you would try using more visual and matching short verbal cues before touch when working with a person living with dementia? Anyone want to share?
I don't think if I'm, wanting them to brush their hair or something along those lines, I might do a visual demonstration of what I'm wanting them to do.
There you go.
I don't know, any personal hygiene kind of thing, probably doing demonstrating before we do.
Absolutely. Yeah. Or drinking something.
Drinking, eating, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Give them an idea of what.
What it is we're gonna be doing or
Yep. Good.
having them do. asking
Good
them
point,
to do.
everybody. Thank you. All right, let's go on here.
How many of you feel that that feels different than when we touched you? Yeah, because if you are doing it yourself, you're actually sending and receiving, and it's a closed circuit. However, when we do to you, it's an open circuit, and for your brain, we eliminated the knowledge of where and when the touch was going to occur, and so your brain was like, oh, 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 oh. It was a hyper alerting, and let me tell you something that we don't think about touch. Life moving touch. Like moving touch? Cockroaches crawling on your skin. Clothes rubbing across. Someone sneaking up on you. Light moving touch is an alerting, arousing touch. It's the hyper alert kind of thing. Danger, danger, Will Robinson. Because it says something's coming in, you don't know what it is. And so what happens when we put our hands on people, even lightly, so you touch them lightly and say, wake up, sweetheart. Boom! Because it came out of nowhere. So what I'm going to do is have you try something a little different. And we'll really work on this skill this afternoon, but I want you to test drive the model and see if it makes a difference. Okay? I want you to shake hands with the person. Now, I want you to tell me for a second, what's the most common contact we have with other human beings when we're greeting them and interacting with them? Hand contact, right? So shake hands, and notice the next thing you're going to do is like well, that's been a problem. Because I want to stay connected, because I want to keep the touch so that you'll know what I'm going to do. But the problem is when I lose skill and keep strength, and I like pressure, go ahead and do it. Ow! Wait, Mom, let go!
was waiting for it to hurt.
See,
She's like,
You're hurting Lauren.
Yeah.
poor Lauren.
Can I go see Julie? I'm hurt.
If I was gonna squeeze my finger.
What happened?
Mike's
Mike said he was gonna pray for me. Next thing I know, he was.
Okay, so what we're gonna do is as soon as we show you, where did I tell you found comfort? So what we're gonna do, and I don't wanna trap your fingers. I wanna leave your fingers free. I want my fingers free, but I wanna be connected to you. So what I'm gonna do is slide like,
So do the hand under hand.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's kind of, instead of this, it's,
This.
yes.
do this, open your fingers up, both of you. Open your fingers up. Make them go
Fly
like this.
away, fly away.
You should feel like you've created a bird, a butterfly. You're connected, but you're free to move. Close them down. They can hold on to you. They can use strength, they might use skill. It's comforting because you got pressure down there at the palm, and here's the really cool part. Hold on to them with your strength fingers, and you still can use your skill fingers. How cool is that? And you turn it so you're underneath, which gives the sense of, I'm
So
here
you
to
can
support you and help
You
you.
can still be here, but you can
Oh,
still
it's
be.
Not to try to keep you from
Because
moving.
then it sounds like she's saying like
Okay.
control
Hold it
movement
forward, row, spoon.
instead of
You can
this.
still-
They don't know what they're
Yeah, this is more,
Now, here's what we're going
Okay, so, hey, welcome. So, have you ever been helping someone living with dementia where you've noticed that your touch is harmful or alerting to them?
yes,
Have you?
yes.
Okay.
Because it was unexpected for the patient,
Mm-hmm.
and I had to learn to get into their like visual space,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because of they didn't have the peripheral.
Yep.
I remember it distinctly.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So we call this hand position hand under hand. How do you think hand under hand could help protect the person you're working with?
Help protect the person a little.
That you're working with? Remember the squeeze
I
the
mean,
palm?
pressure and, yeah, I mean, pressure and control, I mean, you're,
What if they were gonna do something?
right, if they were gonna respond to you
Yeah, absolutely.
aggressively or something.
Yep.
Okay.
What you're gonna do, you're gonna lay your other hand on top of the back of their hand. You try this. Get them to, now this is an interesting phenomenon. The oldest sensory motor tract in the human brain is eye hand. It is the one that develops first. You put a baby, sit it up at 3 months. What will happen if you let go? Down it goes. It doesn't even have trunk control. Doesn't have head control. But if you lay it on its back, so it doesn't have to do a whole lot of work, and you put the dangly crap down, right in the middle range. They're fascinated by it, because they like to see it. And then they're just starting to learn how to do some of this stuff. They're not very good at it, they're like a skill, they just have some strength, they're learning how. And they're learning to move against gravity. And so,
Get their attention.
and you can watch it when they get it, it's like, look what I did! Did you see it? I have control! And suddenly their excitement builds because they have the feeling that they can
go crazy. I'm like,
There you go.
So what we're gonna do, that's the oldest, most primitive sensory motor system in the brain. It's the one that is gonna prevail the longest through the end of this disease. It'll be the last one I lose. I hand. But I'll lose skill before I lose strength.
Is that making sense? Yeah. So think of one person with dementia who you know that is losing skill. You may not, some of you may or may not have somebody or know somebody. Losing skill but not strength. Would hand under hand be a useful technique to support that person safely? And in what ways could you try it?
Yes, for sure.
Yeah?
Oh yeah.
Well, I actually did it with grandma.
Okay.
Yeah, and she wasn't able to feed herself anymore, and so we got the applesauce put on a plate and she kind of like knew what to do, but she wasn't getting a spoon to her mouth, she was getting it more to the side of her face.
Mhm.
So I took her hand on her hand and then was helping her get there.
There you go.
She wasn't eating much, but we got it.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
And that's where you start. You start somewhere. You start somewhere.
Is that like a comfort thing? I remember my great grandma, she didn't, she wouldn't talk as much, but she would always grab my hand and pat it, like touch it.
She's getting your attention.
Yeah.
And that's what Teep is showing you is, you know, when you look away, let's use an example. So I want you looking over there, Mike, if you would. Give me your hand first. Give me your hand. And you're not paying attention. You're looking away. Mike's over there. And so if I do this, what are you gonna do?
Look at you.
Got your attention. Yep. And that's older people will do it a lot of times. Honey, how you doing? It makes you look at it.
Yep.
Right? It makes a lot of sense, doesn't it, when you think about it. We don't think about these things in a normal day-to-day, but by learning this stuff, when we run across people with dementia, our brains kick in and go, I'm gonna try this, okay?
I'm curious to know if people in our generation, when we get older, if we're gonna do the same thing, or if that's just like a generational thing. 'Cause
We'll be holding up an iPhone.
I know, yeah, same, I know.
Not to do this. It'll be iPhone under iPhone.
Because I mean, I don't really touch people.
Oh, my
Yeah,
iPhone.
you know, but I think it's
I know, it's,
elderly, I don't know.
there's a difference in like personal space, probably kind of
Yeah.
how we like our, you know, distancing as opposed to
Yeah.
maybe older generations that are much more comfortable with that.
Yep.
I still think it's gonna be a very human element that's
I think
needed.
it has to be.
Here's the
Regardless of
Absolutely.
Not very
generation.
hard,
But being intentional.
How cool is this? Visual motor. Watch this. She's here, she's looking around. So let your partner look around for a second. They're distracted, the world's really interesting, they're excited. Oh, how cool is this? Take your other hand, lay it gently on the back, and give a pump in the hand. And no matter what they're doing, they will pause, they will look at the hand, and they will look at you.
Yeah, like squeeze it.
But look away.
Yeah, oh.
Pause. Get the hand.
I love her volunteers on this.
She's like this.
It's like she's staggering around.
When your hand touches something, your eyes want to see what it is. When your eyes are looking at something, it will also draw your hands. That's the other bad news. So what their eye sees, their hand wants to touch. And you're surprised when they start doing it. Well, you're the one that said, exactly.
Her personality.
You put it right where they can see it, within arm's reach, and they're going, okay, look, goodies.
Goodies.
On the other hand, if I do this, no matter what she's doing, she's gonna notice me. Once I've got her looking at me. Here we go. Horse. Good. You got it? Yeah. Now, right here. Got it? Perfect. She travels with me, so her brain is both getting and giving. I've reestablished the two parts of the loop so that she is doing with me, I am not doing to her. And she can give me feedback. I'm liking this scared me, this was okay, take more time here, but this was fine. Did she give me all that feedback? Yeah, we're talking to each other without words. Because what I'm doing is using what she has left to help me communicate with her with the way that she can get the communication, as opposed to overwhelming her system with data. Okay? So with your partner, I want you to give that a try. Feel the difference between touching with versus touching someone.
Okay, you better try.
Okay, what are we doing?
Well, hand in her hand, and instead of me just doing this,
Doing stuff.
we're going to do it together. So I'm going to point to yourself, because you want you want him to know that what you're gonna try to do, right? So basically, he didn't have hair, but
It's kind of difficult.
but that's okay.
Now they tell me.
But the idea
Call what
is,
you can.
you got their attention, and then
Mirroring what you're gonna do.
so they know what's coming. Okay, food, same thing. If you're eating,
Shove it in there.
Right. Just do your.
okay, so she can do this by herself. Yeah, does that make sense? So it's basically getting their attention and then participating with them and getting them to feel comfortable with the next thing that you're gonna do. It's not like you're just reaching in. Here, I'm gonna, no. See the reaction?
The goodies.
That's the reaction you get. So, what did you notice about the volunteer responding to Tifa using hand under hand rather than in the prior video of just touching? She was more apt to go along and feel comfortable. Absolutely. So why do you think it's different?
Well, not only this time she had her eyes open, but
It's having.
yeah, she's doing a movement. Like, you're less surprised when your own body is doing a movement.
Even though somebody else is helping you do that,
Yeah.
right? They're aware of that. So have you ever noticed eye contact, drawing hand contact, or hand contact, coming eye contact before in your own experiences?
Want to say it again?
Have you ever noticed eye contact, drawing hand contact? Right? Remember? Eye contact, drawing hand contact.
Hind?
Hand,
Oh, okay.
hand contact, okay? Look over there, just be looking around, okay? I need to get her to look this way. Eye
Okay.
contact, hand contact.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
You're pretty much getting their attention.
Yeah, that's what you're doing. And by doing that, once again, they feel, and they're gonna look, what is that? And so you got their attention. Otherwise, what are you gonna do? Look over there. How do I get her attention? Hello, hello?
That's
This
the
is
goodies.
real easy.
Attention.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's hand contact, drawing, eye contact.
Hand contact, drawing eye contact.
Okay.
Okay? So do you think this might have an impact on anyone you have tried to help who had dementia? Probably,
Just about anybody.
Bobby,
probably.
yeah. Yeah. Mike, you'd see a lot of people with dementia. Have you tried that? Have you tried when you walk in to see a patient, and they're looking around, and you've done the hands to get them to draw, or how do you get them to look at you when you walk in?
Well, I think when I first started this work, I thought if I spoke louder,
Mm-hmm.
not necessarily.
Mm-hmm.
So I think I learned without this training, I had to get in their visual space.
Mm-hmm.
And I usually asked, like a caregiver at the facility, how are they with touch?
Okay.
Because I've seen people lash out
Mm.
when they're touched and they weren't aware they were being touched.
Mm-hmm.
So that was one of the things I learned early on, is that you inquire about how is this patient with touch.
Mm-hmm.
Some, depending on how far they are in their illness,
Mm-hmm.
right, might cue you. They might even reach out, you know, when you're looking at them, they might even offer like a bodily movement, like,
Mm-hmm.
right?
When that goes back to hand under hand too, the coaching that we do is the approach,
Yes,
introducing yourself, asking them who they are,
yeah,
and if they reach out, then you know that they're open to touch.
yes.
So, okay. Let's see. So if you have a partner with you, try hand under hand to get visual regard. Go ahead and try that, I'll do it with you. And then, if you don't have a partner, well, think of a family member or friend. So,
You know,
once again, hand under hand,
Okay.
and I wanna get her to look at me. I want her to change her focus over to me. So what I'm gonna do, lay my hand gently on top, and she looks over. Automatically, it just, cause you feel that And what are you gonna do? You're not gonna keep looking over, you're curious what's going
Curious
on.
what's going on with
Yeah, absolutely.
It's a tube.
So Tina's gonna be making some hand motions in this next section, for different places we process data. So do the hand motions with her if you would, please. What's going on?
All right, so you're starting to get a sense of this. That kind of assistance has a term, and the term I give that kind of assistance is hand under hand. It denotes the position of my hand. My hand is under you. My hand is there to support you. You're the boss. I'm here to help. I'm here to guide. I'm here to assist. I'm not here to take over and try to do things to you, do things with you. Because I know if I can get your brain to understand what I'm doing, you're going to cooperate. You can give me feedback, even when you can't speak anymore. You can give me feedback that doesn't result in me getting hit. We can figure out ways to share information because I'm paying attention to what you're able to do. So I'm going to show you where this data is processed in your brain. It's huge. Do this. The entire top surface of your brain is devoted to sensory motor. Sensation and movement, and they are, do this, hardwired together. What you feel drives what you do. What you do drives what you feel. Back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And there is wiring between what you see and what you do. There is wiring in a normal brain between auditory processing and sensory motor processing. So if I were to say for you all, stand up, we're going to go downstairs, your brain would take in that auditory data and translate that into an action statement and get your body organized to stand up, and you wouldn't even know where we were headed. My late stage dementia, that's exactly what people with dementia hear when we try to give them auditory data. They lose the content that they keep through them, and they can't figure out what we're trying to get them to do. And it's not because they're not trying, and it's not because we're not trying, it's because we're using the wrong system for what they have left.
That's terrible.
Okay, so have you noticed that people in later stages seem to have trouble understanding what you want them to do and doing it? Right? Yeah. So have you ever thought why that might be?
I think there's part of me that thought that, oh, maybe they're just not wearing their hearing aids today, like they can't hear me.
Yeah,
And
good point.
It wasn't necessarily what their brain can't understand, it was just,
They
oh,
couldn't
they
hear you.
heard half of what I was saying, yeah.
Well, later on in the video, you're going to find out that there's only 5 to 8 things we keep in our brain. After we have that many, the rest of it's gone. We can't comprehend that thing. But yeah, hearing aids, vision. What about vision? We talked about vision before.
Loss of vision.
Yeah, loss of vision.
Loss of visual cues.
So have you ever thought why that might be? And you said that hearing aids. You know, you've thought it might be because they couldn't hear because they needed hearing aids, but it was really the damage to the brain that's being done through the disease process. How does this activity and processing help you better understand why problems sometimes arise when we are trying to help someone?
It's the agenda piece. a lot.
Yeah. We have our agenda, they have their agenda. And then with all the other things going on, it's hard for them sometimes to understand what we're trying to help them do.
I think also it's that we're not using all the cues that because if their auditory and visual are impacted and we're only talking and speaking and they can't see without the touch, they've lost the input that they have. So
Perfect point, Bobby. Yeah, I mean, you're absolutely right. It takes all the cues sometimes to get people to do the things that they need to do or we'd like to help them do. Yeah, absolutely. Great point. So think of at least one situation in which you might try to use more visual and touch cues with just very short verbal ones. More virtual and touch cues with just short verbal ones.
Say that again?
I guess when they're trying to get dressed, like especially like a button shirt or something, so then I'd be like, oh, put on a shirt and then
Visual. You're
Trying to
gonna
do
show
visual
them.
and
try to
touch.
do the buttons and say, alright, to the
I
next
think
one.
it's
Here, I'm here, hand under hand. You don't have a button shirt.
And I can
But-
imagine that response.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. But if you had a button shirt, I'd go. No? Okay.
Take a hundred.
Don't you get all up in my booties.
Courtney, you don't understand this group. You really don't. You don't know the challenges of this patient. Oh my gosh. This is gonna be part of the 20 minutes you get to review, Courtney.
My group is unhelpful.
Oh, the visual.
Yeah. So how does this activity of processing help you better understand why problems sometimes arise when we're trying to help someone?
So I think prior to this training, I might have thought it's all me,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And I didn't realize that the skill leaves before the strength, right? So my approach just didn't have a lot of like training education behind it.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't aware of these other, better approaches.
And that's why we are doing this training, so that eventually you can go out and share the training with others and help them be better care partners also. So absolutely. So I'm glad you're starting to see through some of this stuff and thinking through it. Wow, I may change what I'm doing based on what I'm learning.
And I'm gonna prepare my children for, if dad ever does this, understand, the skill is gonna leave, but I'm still strong.
Won't get too
So-
close.
So just think of at least one situation in which you might try to use more visual and touch cues with just very short ones. We talked about that. Please do the actions along with the video, including the 2 additional movements for the last 2 senses and fingers, which is smell is the ring finger, taste is the little finger, open mouth and gesture. So the ring finger is sniff.
What are you saying by that? What are you saying?
Taste is the little finger. Okay, so now you got see, you got hear, you got feel, and do, smell, and taste. Your 5 senses. Okay, let's go on.
I must not have seen these patients' fingernails in these nursing Really?
So the difference is what you smell
Wash before
and what
touch.
you taste.
come
Those
in
are
with
the 5
my
senses. Those are the
hand
things you
sanitizer
get to
all the time.
All
What
of
are
it.
they? What you see, what you hear, what you feel, what you smell, and what you taste. These 3 are your skill manipulators. These 2 are strong and cryptic. But people with that. Are just in the opposite way, like children when it comes to sensory data. Children develop which of these first? Curiosity or safety awareness? Which do they get first? Curiosity. Who's in charge of safety awareness? Someone else, not them. They can care less about safety awareness. They're curious about everything. They want to investigate everything. They're curious. They want to check it out. They have absolutely no safety awareness. Fortunately for everybody, they're pretty well padded. They have pretty quick reflexes. They don't have necks. And their heads sit right right on top of their shoulders, they have a long torso, they're really got lots of padding everywhere. They're bone insulation and padding. And their bones are not fragile. They're dead. You get dementia, your brain fries in the opposite way it was developed. It dies, it fries. It's not working in the opposite way. So what are they gonna keep? Curiosity. What are they gonna lose? Safety awareness. Here's a heads up, you're not my mother. I resent it when you try to be my mother because I've lived a rich full life. I am not 3 years old. I am not 18 months old. You don't treat me like that. And yet my skill set requires that you figure out how to create an environment that's safe for me. But it still has to have this or I won't stay here. But if it's too much, I get overwhelmed. If it's not safe, And I don't have what they have. I don't have padding. My bones are fragile. My fat pads have all gone to my trunk. I don't have it in my extremities. And I'm losing skills, and I'm losing them the opposite way I developed them. That's the reality.
Okay, so, Tipa mentioned a few
So
things
real
there.
quickly, we're gonna go back to our scenario.
Okay, let's pop it again. So,
It's like,
understand why.
Because what I want you to realize, human beings,
hold
when
on,
they
hold on.
decide to go do something, what happened is I was sitting here and I got a call.
There you go.
Yeah, it's just,
That's it.
yeah.
Need better internet service. No, anyways. So let's talk about kids. You ever have that issue with small kids? What do you know, what's one of the things we all do as parents with our small children when they start moving around?
Don't do that.
Well, what else? My
Oh,
guess is everybody in this room has done this.
Follow them everywhere.
No?
Try to keep them safe.
Huh?
Try to keep them
Baby
safe.
proof the house? You talking about that?
Baby proof the house.
Yeah, baby.
What do we do?
Okay.
Sockets.
Plugs,
Yep.
That's
Yeah.
one of the first things we do. Why? Because
cabinets.
they get to those right away.
On,
And as they get bigger, then we do the cabinets, and we continue, and then hopefully they learn. They don't go, hey, take that thing out, let's put a fork in there, and learn that way. But think about it, when your kid's reaching up on a stove, and you say, don't do that, you're gonna burn yourself. And they do it, they get burnt, they're not gonna do it again. But you can tell them all day long not to do it, but they wanna know why not to do it. Yeah,
So we have to explain.
When they get the century, they got there.
Yeah, unfortunately,
Yeah.
Dean is a good teacher, but
Yeah.
so,
pick your pain.
Yeah.
so you've had interactions with childs, where they started to do something unsafe because they were curious?
Yep.
Yeah. What was something that you've noticed, you've experienced with a small child?
My daughter Ava, every time I put her down, she always crawls to always.
Electric sockets.
Yes. It's like she's like the whole.
Drawn to it.
Drawn to
Yeah.
it.
What is that?
It's in her visual
All her
field too.
toys.
Yeah.
She wants to go play with the
Oh,
socket.
Yeah.
Grandson unscrewed the light bulb from the lamp and stuck his finger in. Zzz.
Oh,
Did it? Did it bite?
Oh, he screamed. He cried and screamed and kicked the lamp. And
Uh-oh.
yeah, he learned. Yeah, you don't do that.
You don't do
That's
that.
the rough way.
And you could have told him, stood there all day long and said, don't do that, you're
And I
gonna
did.
get hurt.
I did.
And what he
That's
did,
what
he
kids
did
always
it
do.
no matter what.
Forget you.
Grandpa doesn't know
They're
what he's
just looking
talking
at you
about.
going,
Grandpa's old and dumb.
Yeah.
Oh.
Mine loved that little bit last night we were at the car wash and they like to play with the sprayer. And I'm always telling them that hose is very powerful. Quit spraying each other. Well, they got me last night.
Oh, God.
And that
Ouch.
was just the corner of it, like just the edge
Just a
of the
little bit of
sprayer.
electric
And I'm
spray.
like, do you see? I was like, and that wasn't even full force. They're like, so sorry, Mom. I was like,
Yeah.
And that's probably the last time you're gonna play with that sprayer, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're next.
Because
But
now,
the edge of it.
Stand there.
But if it would have been full force, it probably would have took my finger, the skin off my finger. But yeah, they saw it then. I'm like, oh, it only took me 14 years.
So I can check that lesson off.
Yeah, finally.
so back to your child, how'd you handle that when she wanted to come to the socket?
I just grab her and tell her no, but she doesn't listen because she's only 9 months.
So that's what happened, she just,
She just goes back to it,
That's
right?
right.
Goes back to it. But we have covers on them now.
yeah,
But
thank goodness, right?
yes.
So basically what happened was, she didn't listen to you.
She gotta learn.
She's gonna learn, right?
Eventually.
So given what you know, does what happened make sense? On these people? I mean, you think about it. Yeah, makes a lot of sense.
So her statement, with dementia, your brain dies and the opposite way it developed is powerful.
Okay.
And that's exactly what it
That's
does.
how it goes.
And I think I mentioned to you guys before that it shrinks down to 1/3 its normal size. And, you know, it looks the same on the outside, but it's actually shrinking from the inside also.
All the
So-
spaces and vacuoles are going away.
Yeah, yeah.
So, curious,
Sure.
I don't know if you'll be able to answer this or not, but, so somebody who has an underdeveloped brain already and then grow up and get dementia, is it still gonna be 1/3 of that size or 1/3 of like what their brain should have been?
Great question. I can't answer that, but
Yeah.
I can check and get an answer for you.
Okay.
That's a good question.
Just logic in my mind,
Mm-hmm,
if they were born with an undeveloped brain,
yeah,
okay, it's still a healthy brain other than being undeveloped.
yes, if
So
they're
now-
healthy, yeah,
Right, but now all of a sudden dementia kicks in and
Mhm.
starts destroying the brain. Logic says it's gonna shrink also, but I wouldn't say that's true.
Yeah.
That logic may not hold true. It's a great question. I'd be happy to.
and then
Give
also,
an answer.
follow up, does this training that you're giving us still, is it compatible for somebody who had an underdeveloped brain to begin with?
I think this training can be utilized not just with people with dementia.
Mm-hmm,
This training can be used with anybody you come in contact with that has brain challenges,
okay,
okay? Because you're gonna experience maybe some of the same things that somebody with dementia has, but it's not dementia, it's due to something else that they were born with or you know. So what we're learning today, and I think that's a challenge we face too, is, you know, maybe I should try this with the person I'm caring for. I'm always battling with them over this. I'm gonna try a different approach. I'm gonna try this and see, maybe that'll change our relationship. Becoming that care partner instead of that caregiver, okay? So, let's see. So what's one thing you plan to change in your care routine based on what you have learned today so far? And it doesn't need to be, it could be with your children. If you think about it, your children, you can use this on children, because that's where these people are gonna go back to, is being
Mhm.
children. So if we're being taught how to be a care partner for somebody with dementia until they take that last breath, why shouldn't we be able to use some of the skills we've developed with kids, with our children?
So this training so far has made me more aware, going to the grocery store, or being out in the public, of noticing and seeing people with behaviors that are like or on the way to.
Yeah.
And then see other people impatient with them. Watch people like
Watch the interaction.
speak louder,
Right.
get frustrated, anxious because they can't direct them in the right way, and they get more they get angry.
And that's a great point, Mike. I think that's, years ago, that's why I got into this, because I used to go into assisted livings and saw families walking out, husbands, wives, kids, and they were just arguing with each other about their loved one, their mom, their dad, their grandma, grandpa. They didn't get it, and they thought that the assisted living was not doing their job, but it was the dementia. And it's come, training and education has come a long, long way in 20-some years. Tiva's been a leader in this stuff, and it's really helped a lot of people, but we got a lot more people to touch, like yourselves, like you guys, you know. You may have not dealt with people with dementia as much as others, but going through this training, like you said, Mike, you start noticing people out in the public. So maybe, you know, we try to find a way that we could approach that care provider, say, hey, you know, I noticed in a positive way, there is training if you'd like to know more about it. I can give you some information or whatever, okay? So let's go on. Great feedback, everybody. Pause this real quick. See if it catches up.
then around the outside is built other stuff. The last part of the human, brain to develop, which hand right up here, is this one. Safety awareness. That ability to think things through, to be thoughtful, to consider your options, to control. That limbic system, that autonomic system, and instead say, you know what, not a good idea. Hang on there. Let's not go right now. Let's wait a second. Making decisions. Initiating, sequencing, terminating, and being able to see something from somebody else's point of view. Very last part of the human brain development. There are some people who never get it. Just so you know. You know them. So here I am in the living room, and I decided to make coffee. Ah, that was my limbic system saying you're thirsty, go get something. And I started to act on that, but what happened? Oh, look, gosh, telephone rang, an interruption, auditory. I knew what to do, I answered the phone because I recognized what it was. And then when I heard my friend's voice, I knew who it was, but I could not think of her name right that moment. That is normal aging. And here's why. What happens with normal aging is the following. Put your hand in the back of your brain. For each human being you've ever met, you take a picture, snapshot. If you see them multiple times, you have multiple snapshots, and you have them each in a file folder marked that person. But then, in order to come up with the name of that person, you have to go up here to the left, temporal lobe, and find your file cabinet for names. You have to sort down through the list of names to find the one that matches that picture. And then what you have to do, go over here, you have to do voice recognition, and match it up, and then out of your mouth from this side comes the word, hey, Betty. Here's a reality check. Our speed of processing slows over time. It's basically 0.5 to 1% per year from the time you're 25 on. Yeah, around 40 to 50, you start to notice the slowing. And so I go to get the data, and it's like, the mouse is not clicking nearly as fast. Now, let me tell you something about these mouse. If you keep clicking that button, you freeze the mouse up, and the mouse goes, okay, I don't know what you want. Hang on, stop. I don't know what, wait a minute, I'm thinking. What am I thinking? I can't tell you anymore. You want me to think of something. I can't think of it. Oh, wait. It starts with B. I got to the file drawer. I even got to the right area, but I couldn't come up with a name as quick as I wanted to come up with a name and the expectation. And so some of us go, oh, hey, sweetheart, how are you? I'm cheating. I'm using automatic system to cover for the loss. And some of you call me on it. Who do you think this is? Why are you so mean? One of these days you'll be older. You'll have that moment of, I know him. This is why we give you name tags. This is why name tags are a good thing. Because what did I provide for your eyeballs? There it is. I don't need to look in the file cabinet. Look, I found it. So as you get with older people, you'll start to notice when you wear your name tag, they look at your name tag after they look at your face, and then they say your name. That's because they're smart. Some of you are doing it here. And if not, you hate when people call you on this. Why are we so mean? Here's what you want to learn how to do. Hey, Betty, it's Tifa. Why don't we talk like that anymore? We used to say things. There was a polite way that you did the telephone. We don't do it anymore. You go, hey, you know who I am? Or my least favorite, when you know somebody has dementia, Mom, which one am I? What is this, a quiz right away? I don't like you very much anymore. You're making me feel stupid. How many people like feeling stupid? Raise your hand if it's your favorite way to feel. We've got to quit doing this, because what ends up happening is you shut down my system, you don't make it work. Because right away you shove your agenda at me. So when we go downstairs, which we are going to do, because you know what I'm noticing? Your limbics are starting to get really active. Y'all had coffee, maybe some juice, you had this, and your limbic is going, we need to pee. We need to pee now. I need to get up, I need to go pee. Can we go pee? I thought we were going to pee. Are we not going to go pee? I need to go pee. And so your limbic system is sort of queuing you up. We got to go soon. And it better not be long. In getting out of these chairs, we better be careful. Because also I will tell you, some of you have to cue the system up. And here's the first thing. Tell me what you do first thing in the morning when you want to go to the bathroom. You want to know what you do? Hold the pee. Because in the very beginning, your limbic said we need to pee. And when you were really little, what happened when you needed to pee? You pee. As you get older, you learn that, not here, not now. We have to put it in a place, a certain place. As you get a little older, these systems are not working as quick and sharp as you might hope. So you actually have to devote energy to hold the pee, make the other muscles work, but hold the pee, keep holding the pee, hold that pee. Keep holding it. Oh, we're in the bathroom, do not let go. Hang on tight. Got to do a lot of other things. Keep holding the pee, hold back the pee while you go. Okay, now put it down. Now the guys have another problem. Okay, now you can let go. Okay, really, you can. It just relax. No, don't hold on. No, come on, there's more. I'm telling you there's more. Come on, let's let it out. Come on. No, don't tighten up. No, that's not enough. So the women have stress incontinence and the guys have bladder outlet problems. They have retention. So this is the tricky part of getting old. It has nothing to do with dementia. But you put dementia on top of it, and we have big issues. When we meet back downstairs, what we're going to do is finish out the scenario and talk about skill building. And the whole thing is going to come together for you to help you appreciate how you can help people take in data and how you...
Okay, let's take a quick 10-minute break, then we'll come back and finish this up. Is that okay with you guys?
Okay.
You know where the coffee's at, you know where,
We'll have it in 2 parts.
you can actually leave it on.
So she said
If you want.
25 and up, you start
Yeah.
forgetting. What's that, right?
Well, your brain,
What's on your plate?
you start, yeah, you can't take in as much information.
Did you apply any of this to?
Interesting stuff. It's just, I really appreciate you guys being here. I hope you're learning stuff. That's the important part.
Now I'm thinking to myself, that explains everything.
It's amazing. You don't think of it until you really sit through and hear what's going on, you know. All right, I'm gonna get my power cord for my computer just in case.
Does it feel like coffee?
Oh, I tell you, I need coffee.
Hey, morning, Maya. Hey, Maya, this is Bobby with Hope. Checking in on this work. How are we doing today? Okay. Okay, sounds great. Okay, sounds great. Thank you. So how was the fair and all? Yes. I'm sorry didn't mean to catch you.
You're good.
How'd the girls do?
Yeah, what-
Y'all traveled to
Oh.
last weekend? Or?
We did good. We didn't get a pool, but
Okay.
she did get top 4 showmanship out of 30 kids.
What happened to my,
So
Cow?
you
Sheep?
kidding me?
we showed pigs and goats.
Pigs.
Yeah.
Okay.
Shake your mouth.
Oh my goodness. Yes. Early.
They did this earlier.
Did you just stop sharing in your screen?
Oh. Oh my gosh.
That was our last day of show.
That's awesome.
She was sticking out time. She's like, I'm over this. Y'all come on now. 4 days of show and I'm done.
How big is he? Or her?
340 pounds.
Wow.
That's awesome.
And they'll go to slaughter when they're done, right?
She's going back to the breeder to make babies.
Oh.
So she flew in from California from the buyer, and then after we're done with her, she'll go to Knox City.
Interesting. Okay.
But she's not gonna be bacon.
No, she won't be
Anytime
bacon. No.
Will she eventually?
Probably
Or she'll just
once
go
he's
out
done
to-
using her.
Oh, yeah.
I know it's sad.
Once that time using
It
it.
happens to us all.
It does. I know.
We just become bacon.
Yep.
We're bacon in our coffin.
There you are. That's a good way to get that up.
I'm 50.
It's kind of like you, Jim.
Would you like original or extra crispy?
All right,
Sweet.
let's get started. Here we go.
You need to do a quick review because we've changed places. And one of the things we know about brains is where you learn and hear something matters. And one of the things as we get older, it matters more than you think. When you change rooms, your brain resets the screen. And that is one of the reasons, even if there wasn't a phone call, you might walk from one room to the other and then, what was it I came in here for? Because when you're in a whole new setting, look at all the new data that's coming in and it's bombarding your senses. And if you didn't strongly hook the thing you wanted to go do into that, what's called working memory, by the time you get to the new place, there's nothing to find. Unless you go back to where you had the thought before and then you can find it. Now, I just said a word that's really important, working memory. We now know there's a whole variety of different kinds of memory storage in the human brain. We used to just think it was either long-term and short-term. That's not true. Working memory is probably one of the most vital kinds of memories, and it involves a complex process. Do this. Working memory means that you have to wire together all parts of your brain to get it to work. Because it's complex, human beings can hold the following number of things in working memory. Working memory means I'm able to manipulate and work with them all at the same time. 5, put your hand up. 5, isn't that wonderful? 5 to 8. That's the most a human being can hold on to, and this is the least that a normal functioning human being should be able to hold on to at a time. 5
Yeah,
to 8.
ADHD is real.
So I should be able to hold on to at least 5 pieces of information in my working memory. It's actually pretty complicated. I've got to do a variety of things to do it, but I can. So what I did when I wanted to make coffee, when I was sitting there and finished the TV program, I put make coffee in working memory. And then I went to a new place, and before I could get settled in the new place, the kitchen, which is where I would make the coffee, the telephone rings. So I didn't quite make it to the kitchen to establish the relationship, which would have allowed me to go ahead and do what? Make coffee. I could have finished it off, but instead, what happened is the telephone rang. Attention, attention, new data, incoming. So what I did is I went and answered the telephone, and the first thing, it was my friend. Now I got diverted a little bit, because what did I have to find? Because the way she did it. Her name, and so that took a little energy, so it's my friend Betty. And then she asked me a question, do you want to meet? She gave me data, at 2 o'clock, at the mall, at Macy's. She told me there was a new chocolate store that opened. And then I had to hold on to the information about that, and then I had to go find the thing that I know she likes. So I had to go do that, and it was the white, shut up. The white, now that's the reaction, was you trying to put in more data.
She's talking to you.
Here's Lauren. Lauren's like,
Shut up, I don't like that. So shut up is a way to say, you're trying to do too much, and I didn't like that, and it's a fight system. It was an autonomic, automatic, so people say, shut up, I'm trying to, would you leave me alone? That distress sign is just, you're trying to put data in and I'm already processing, do you mind? And what you wanna say is, I'm sorry. Instead of, I'm sorry, I was just trying to help you. It's like, what part of I was trying to process data and you're interrupting, did you not get? And what's our natural reaction when somebody says, shut up?
So shut up.
No, I was gonna tell you why I was interrupting you.
Shut up is not a nice
That's
word.
what you want to do. Do this. Go ahead, do it. Y'all love diarrhea of the mouth. You get diarrhea of the mouth. You try to tell them even when they said, don't tell them. You ignore their message back to you because you have important, you want them to understand why you interrupted them. I don't give a shit why you interrupted me. All I'm trying to tell you is quit interrupting me so I can finish what I was doing. Now, some of us are always that way, but guess what happens when you get dementia? Even if you weren't, you become more that way. Guess what happens when you're stressed? Same thing. So professionals, when you're trying to talk to families about, this is what I went to, well, shut up, I can't take it. Family members, you're trying to talk to another family member. I can't hear this right now. Would you, particularly you're trying to talk to the one who's the primary, because you're observing that their behavior is not helping, and they're going, ah, and you're going,
Oh, we were doing so well.
I just want to tell you. What did they just tell you? I'm full, leave it alone. We have a hard time hearing that message, don't we? Because of what means we need to do what? Take. Get time out, just shut up. And then when they pause, that's when you say, I'm sorry. I interrupted what you were doing.
Okay, hold on.
Because we want to work with them, not fight with them. And if you keep pushing your agenda, do this. Take your finger and poke at somebody with it. Go ahead, poke. How many of you like being poked with that? Would you just be quiet?
Don't make me.
So what I'm going to tell you, this is a critical message for you to get into your brain and appreciate. When I give you negative feedback, it's not because I'm trying to be ugly. It's I'm trying to get you to listen to me. Because you're generally trying to talk to me. So I put coffee in there, but all this other stuff. I filled up all the space. Not only the 5, I'm going to have caramels, but you're going to have coconut, and we need to meet at the menswear entrance. So what will I not have with me when I get there? The vacation pictures, and who will I not have called? Margaret, where's coffee? Well, I lost that a long time ago. That's not even on the table anymore. I mean, it's long gone. I don't even have a way to get to it anymore right now. Except, if you're a young person, you're young, and your wiring is really good and quick, what will happen? What's the first thing I did when I couldn't think what it was? I looked around the kitchen. So the first thing you do is you look around the kitchen. A young person hasn't done that much stuff in the kitchen. So they look around the kitchen, and what do their eyes notice? The coffee pot, and they go, cha-ching, drop the penny. They don't have to go anywhere. You're a little older. You've done a lot of things in the kitchen. Some of them we want to talk about, some we don't. But you've done so many things in the kitchen, you can't look around the kitchen and get it to pop. So then you try system number 2. You always go in this order. You talk to yourself. Tell your children it's healthy. Because what you're literally trying to do by talking out loud is prompt the memory of why you came in there. You literally say to yourself, and everybody did it. I heard some of y'all did it. I didn't know what you're for. Because now you've moved to auditory cueing. You're trying to cue yourself up, because if you say it out loud, maybe it will prompt what it was. It will be enough of a cue to get you to go, cha-ching, there it is. But that didn't work either. Because when you get a little older, It wasn't firmly enough embedded, and there's too many other things floating around now. I've lost it. So I have to actually physically travel back to the setup where I was. And then if you watched, I tried the whole thing all over again. I looked at the chair, I looked at the TV. I say to myself, I was watching TV, the program ended, and I still couldn't get it to pop until, cha-ching, there it was, right there waiting for me in my working memory. I just couldn't get to it. Normal aging. That's absolutely normal. All of that is normal.
Yeah. So, for review, what were some of the features you noticed in the normal aging scenario? Normal aging. What are some of the things you noticed?
Are there things that I do?
Yeah.
It's
Okay.
okay to walk
On a
into
regular
another room
basis,
and realize you forgot what you were coming in there for.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can't call us.
It's okay to talk to yourself.
Yeah. Just make sure no one's around.
You need those.
Don't interrupt me.
You need those auditory clues to get you back on track.
Tell yourself that. It's okay. Be quiet.
I do. I'll be talking to myself
Talk
in
to
the
the
kitchen and
yin-
the girls will
talk
be like,
to the
Mom, what are you
yin
talking
and
about?
yang.
Don't interrupt me.
As long as you answer yourself back.
I'm gonna
Answer yourself back.
Like, okay, now we're gonna do this.
Some of the other things we talked about, can't recall a word, so describe the word to get it to pop up.
Oh,
Yep.
Slower to do.
Mhm.
Slower to do. They hesitate more. More likely to look before they leap.
Comes of age.
You don't know. We'll know the person but not find the name.
I do that.
I've been married 43 years, and I was in sales when I met my wife. And right away I told her, I said, now if we're out in a gathering, and I don't introduce you to somebody, I need you to say, hi, I'm Tim's wife, and you are?
Yep.
And then,
I love it.
oh,
I do
Leah,
that
how
with
are you? How you doing,
Yeah.
Leah?
My wife and I do that all the time.
Yeah.
Oh, it works well.
Because I know faces.
And that-
I'll
and
remember
that-
your face.
Yeah.
I can't always pull the name.
I know, I recognize you, I know you from somewhere, but
Yeah,
I'm not
I know you
sure.
from X, Y, and Z, but I
Yeah.
can't pull your name.
I always
Yeah.
think like, what building do you belong to? Ah, that's where.
Yeah.
That's right.
Normally.
West City Medical Lodge. How are you?
Yes.
So that's normal aging. We all do it. But like she said, you're younger before 25, you don't do it as often because you have the opportunity to
Mhm.
capture more things at one time. Wait till you see the next part about non-normal aging. So, yeah, she gets into it pretty much. So,
That's some brown balls for me.
so why do you think there's so much misunderstanding of normal aging?
Misunderstanding.
Of normal aging.
I don't know. I think we're all hypersensitive to losing our faculties, losing our memory. You know, I think so many more things are hinge around that, and everybody's.
Yeah, youth is celebrated and
It's concerning when we start to lose what we feel like as our faculties.
Yeah, absolutely. And the older you get, I think the more you do.
Yeah, the more you think about it. I mean,
Yeah.
you probably think more about your mortality too.
Right. So what are some of the features of normal aging that can create friction, stress, or problems between people who are trying to interact and help each other?
I've got a great example. So, when my mother and I are driving in a car, she's driving, there's a lot of traffic, it's raining, we don't know where we're going. I start trying to talk to her about something, she's like, stop, I can't even take this right now, like, just, I need to drive. I need to focus on driving. I'm like, okay. And I just sit there and I'm quiet until she starts talking again. I'm like, okay.
Because she's using what she's got.
Yep.
To pay.
Trying to focus on everything.
One
Yeah.
thing my wife gets upset when I drive is I turn the radio down.
Oh, yeah.
I always turn the radio down because it's going to help me drive better.
Yeah.
Right?
When I'm lost, especially.
Oh,
I turn the radio off. Yeah.
Yeah.
Turn it
doesn't-
down.
it doesn't change the way I drive. I just don't need that noise.
There's too much intake
Silence
with your brain.
Too many,
Yeah.
too many
things
inputs,
going on.
Too many inputs.
Yeah.
Close some windows, please.
Yes.
Yeah.
Not windows literally, but close some windows on your laptop.
So, how has learning about your brain and how it works affected your thinking today? Share with what you're thinking so far. You ain't thought through everything yet. But knowing what you've learned today, how's that make you think about what's going on?
Mike and I talked about it on the break, and it was just, how would we do things differently, and,
Yeah.
you know,
Approach everything differently.
not
I think-
only people that we are seeing now, but
Yeah.
how could we have done it differently in the past for other people?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, don't be regretful because you haven't. We didn't know.
We didn't know.
Yeah, well, it's,
And that's
yeah,
what's so good about this kind of training is we get to learn so much about what we can do versus what we have done.
I don't think it's more necessarily regret, but it's more just I think it's regret, but it's also excitement that we can give that, experience and like a better
Somebody.
experience, yeah, to somebody else.
And going
I would
forward.
agree.
Yeah,
Going through it with my dad
and so
recently,
it's,
you know.
I'm not gonna do that again, I'm gonna do
Yeah,
this instead.
absolutely.
Yeah.
And that's what training's all about.
Right.
It's taking us from the old to the new, and even if we don't get it all, any of it at all helps us move forward in being a care partner for somebody that's dealing with brain change. So to review, how would you greet someone? Say hi, their name, it's your name, right? We talked about that before. If someone seems to be looking for a word, what is a great option to give the person a chance?
Describe it, like if you know the word that they are going for,
Give them a minute to think about it.
well,
Just
just,
give
yeah.
Silently count.
Yeah, take your time.
Because it's, yeah, once again,
Or just-
we wanna move forward.
Mhm.
Or just pause and just be patient. I mean, I think it's something you learn in sales is you may ask a question, but you need to stop and listen. You know, you need to let them explain. Don't try and feed the word to them or feed the, I don't know, you have to ask and then pause.
There you go.
Pause.
So to prompt or remind, or to remember more than 5 things, what might be helpful?
To remember more than 5 things?
Yeah, to remember
Sticky notes.
sticky notes.
Yeah, I make a list of things, yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah.
That's good.
Visual and visual clues. I mean, I don't know. I think about associating. We used to do. I remember in grad school, we used to have a guy that when we would study together, he would put words together. You know, what we're trying to remember with some other kind of easy to remember, not necessarily acronym, but just he would always associate it in weird, with weird things or things that were easy to jump in your mind.
Mhm.
I don't know. I always think about that a lot.
And
So-
then like yesterday, I was doing a whole bunch of stuff, and then Sheila came over and put down the little clean dirty magnet that for the dishwasher, and she's like, "This is a reminder to start the dishwasher before you go."
There you go.
I did it.
So you remember to go back and look at the dishwasher.
I did, yeah. Did it actually start? No,
I
but
think a lot of people feel personal shame or guilt if they can't remember things,
Yeah.
not knowing that there's a handful of things that can only be
You're
in
not
that
gonna be.
cache, memory at
Yeah.
one time where we can, in a sense, not forget and we can keep those on the burner, right, warming up. But I think there are a lot of people who feel reticent to, or maybe not reticent, I think a lot of people feel obligated to self-shame. Why can't I remember? And you go, oh my gosh, look at what you have before you.
Well, and
Right.
being an employee, your boss comes to you and asks you a question you can't remember.
Mhm.
How do you feel inside? I'm incompetent, I can't answer my boss's question because I can't think of the answer right now. But they don't know you're having that issue. So it's like, I've asked you how many times, why can't you answer that?
Yeah, and I think even in social conversation, there are people, I'm just saying, who are impatient with conversation. And let's just say you wanna come up with a thoughtful response, and you're taking some time to think that through. They almost wanna insert a word for you, or help you along in many regards. That's demeaning to the person, where there should be a kind of, hey, let me give you a minute, I know you're thinking about this, instead of, trying to fast forward
Yeah,
their
we'll come
answer.
back. We'll come back to you.
We do that in common parlance with people, and I'm thinking I don't think that's a really good, social grace to give people to say, hurry up and say what you need to say. I don't have time to listen.
Not everybody process.
My
they don't
time
have
is
the
more
witty
important than
response
yours.
quickly.
Yeah.
Some people process.
So I think even that approach is almost like a preamble to even working with people with cognitive decline, because even in just common day concourse with people, we're like impatient, like get it out, hurry up.
Normal aging.
Well, and I think I think it's what we do, even just, dealing with dementia patients now and having a better understanding after going through a lot of this training is, what do? We let them, whatever they're talking about, whatever they're going through, we just kind of go along with
Right,
it.
and not correct
It's
them.
not like you're playing along, but you're not trying to correct them, you're not trying to redirect them somewhere differently, mentally, just with their thoughts. Just let it kind of go where it goes. And if they get every other word out, you can't really understand, but you just nod along and I'm with you.
Yep.
You know.
So if you ask me how to get somewhere and I'm older, what might I do when describing directions? Landmarks. Yeah. So see, even at our age,
There's a north-south thing.
the
too.
younger ones do it.
I don't know how to do that.
I mean, we've done that for ages.
Challenge.
I did that a few times coming to this new building. It's like, okay, instead of using Google how to get home or to work, I need to start looking
Years
at.
you went to the old Garland office.
Well, and I'm looking for landmarks now. Okay, so now I know that landmarks are there. I got to be in the left lane to make a left. But until there was 2 or 3 times before I stopped using maps to get home and get to work.
I think a lot of times, like, everybody relies on Waze or, some
Yeah,
map
I
program
do.
nowadays as opposed to, because I even know within, me going to communities where I always go, I still use it because a lot of times I just want to know what's my quickest route.
What's the traffic looking
I don't
like?
want to go 75 this time. I'd rather go the back roads because
Yep.
I don't want to sit and wait in, a wreck or whatever else. But we become reliant on that.
We do.
Right.
I do lost that.
So,
Like literally.
Yeah.
so out of all
I
these
start
things,
it every time I get in the car.
so out of all these things, just pick one of these to practice with your partner. Just, your name, asking about a word. You're looking for a word, see what your partner does, or directions. And just real quick, do that with your partner. Something that we just talked about. Remember, more than 5 things might be helpful, list, things like that. So, how do I get back to the old office?
You're asking the wrong person.
So you're going to direct you back to Greenville.
How do I get back to Greenville from here?
I don't know, that's Waze.
There's this thing called Google Maps.
Exactly.
I get in my
You could
car and I
Hey
click
Siri.
work.
And yet, when we talk about it, what do we say? Oh, we use landmarks.
Yeah, but I don't put landmarks over here. There's so much
Exactly.
big construction. I'm like, oh shoot, this is not right last time.
Exactly. All right,
Somebody
so
out there digging.
Yeah, there's somebody at the front door.
so let's go on. Now we're going to talk about what's not.
I'm in the living room and I've been watching TV and the program ends and I said, well, you know what, I think I'll go make something to drink. 'Cause that's, I want something. I'll make some of the stuff that you get pop. Gonna make it. Phone rings. Hello? Hey, sweetheart. Yeah. Who is this exactly? Betty who? Oh. Well, why didn't you say? Okay. Well, what do you want? Me, today? Why do you wait till the last minute? I wish you'd tell me ahead of time. Well, I don't remember you talking about it at Bridge.
Notice it's in black and white right
You
now?
talk all the time at Bridge, your mouth runs incessantly. Huh? Well, okay, I don't mean to be mean, but just talk a lot, that's all. What? Oh, you want to meet at the mall? Okay, well, that's fine, which end? 2 o'clock? Yeah. Macy's? Well, honey, I don't think there's a Macy's at that mall. Where's there a Macy's? No, that's a J.C. Penney. It's a J.C. Penney's. I have a card with them. I have a credit card with them. I know what it is. I buy things there. What do you mean they moved out? Oh, I shopped there not long ago. There's no way they moved out. Did they just close up? Well, good.
That's the way our brain works.
Yep.
Just
Rebooting.
Yeah.
Good point.
Lord, no, that's still, you sure? I think you're wrong. Well, fine, I'll meet you at that end. I know what you're talking about then. Huh? Inside the men's, well, of course I know where inside the menswear is, but you better get to the right store, you're not gonna be there. Huh? All right, well, fine, whatever. What? Oh, they opened a what am I talking about? I'm talking about the brown hairy bald kind that you like. You like the brown hairy bald. Do you speak English? Honest to God, get what you want. I don't give a shit. I mean, whatever.
Hairy bald.
About this.
One thing you'll never forget from me.
Well, no, I'll call her if she wants to come, that's fine. But the vacation picture, I'll bring them. Wait till you see some of them answers. Well, honey, you look like a cat. No, I'm telling you, your butt cheek is hanging out so bad. I mean, it looks. I mean, you must have put on what, 30 pounds? I mean, you're eating too many of the brown hairy dogs.
I'll say
I
anything.
mean, that's all I can tell you about it. But
Really,
you
really
got to
feel.
sucking them down.
No
That's the
filter.
way it's supposed to.
Filter gone, filter
If you don't
gone.
like looking the way you look, you should do something about it. That's what I say.
That's what I say.
Well, listen, do you want to get together? You're going to get an attitude. Well, then I'll see you there too. That's fine. I don't know why you're so stirred up. You're the one eating. All right, then. Shit. I mean, I don't know what her problem is. The Lord, she gets an attitude. Now, let me think here. Oh.
Got in the book here.
A coffee cup. Now, I told my son that I was fairly sure that gypsies were coming in here at night and making coffee, drinking my coffee, and leaving dirty dishes, because I've never left a dirty dish in my life. And here it sits, a dirty coffee cup, partially drunk out of. I'll guarantee this has their provenance all over it. And I better go check the bathroom, because sure, when they get in here and get that, they'll steal toilet paper too. They always steal toilet paper.
Oh, the paranoia.
Look at that. See, the roll's empty again. They come in here and he thinks I'm not nuts, because I saw that it's gone. Well, I'm gonna go down to the corner store here and get some toilet paper, because there's nothing worse than constipation and you got to go and there's no toilet paper. You got to have some. So I go down to the corner store and I pick up a few things that I need, because I know there's some things I need. And I come back and I go to put them in the fridge and such, and there's another quart of milk in there. Well, I wonder who brought that by. I don't know when they brought that. Well, good, I can make use of it, it'll be fine. And let me go put this toilet paper up. You know, I'm not gonna put it in here, because sure as hell they'll steal it just like they stole the other stuff. I'm gonna go put this in the spare bedroom closet, because they won't think to look there. Okay, here we go. Oh my God. This is where they're keeping it until they bring a truck to come pick it up. There's gotta be 30 rolls right there. I'm gonna hide it under the bed. They won't know where to look for it. At 10 minutes after 2, the telephone rings. Hello? Well, hi there, how are you? What do you mean, where am I? I'm at home, where are you? Well, what are you doing at the mall? Well, if you wanted me to come to the mall, you should have called me. I can't read your mind. What do you mean you did? Who'd you talk to? No, I didn't talk to you. I don't remember if I talked to you. I haven't talked to you in, I don't know, a month or so. You did not call me. Maybe you called the other one. Listen, I mean, I hate saying this, because I hate even bringing it up, but I think you best go see the doctor. Because I think you may have that dementia they talk about, because I think you're all turned around, sweetheart. All right, well, bye-bye. All right, so at your table, I want you to do a quick review of what's normal and what's not. So go through the laundry list of everything we talked about and see if you can highlight some of the things of not normal. Just talk about your not normal.
So, what do you think's not normal? Not normal aging.
You said it. Paranoia.
Yeah.
Paranoia.
Big paranoia. Forgetfulness.
The process issue, for sure. Can't connect the dots.
What else?
No retention.
No retention.
She didn't retain the early call.
Like the time element.
Yeah.
When was that? Was that
A month ago.
today?
Yeah.
20 years ago? Or am I in that right now? Right?
What did she say to her friend about her bikini
No
Oh,
filter.
yeah, the no
No
filter.
filter.
and impulsivity?
Yeah.
I mean, whatever they
Whatever
think,
they think, they
it's
say.
gonna say, yeah. Ability to describe words with other commonly accepted words?
The hairy round
Yeah.
ball.
Kind of
Hairy
brown
ball.
hairy
Hairy
balls,
ball.
yep. Isn't it funny, her,
Their
you
description
know,
of
she knew what it was,
That's coconut.
Come on.
but she didn't know how to
Not the
describe
white
it.
flakes.
Yeah.
Had to be the brown
Toasted.
ball.
Toasted.
Um,
Toasted coconut.
Ability to use strong auditory cues to recall recent conversations. When she called and said, you didn't call, right? So, auditory. So let's take a look at Tipa's list and see what we got here. There's a list, kind of what's normal and what's not normal. Recognize someone we didn't mention? And how comfortable are you now with some of this, knowing what's normal versus not normal? I mean, I don't want you going out and diagnosing somebody with dementia.
Oh, come on, Dad, we got
Yeah,
this.
I know for myself.
Got you clinically.
We got you going here, right?
You don't need to see the neurologist, I got you.
Right.
You're diagnosed with normal aging.
Look at the time here. 46. All right, so let's go on. Oh, no, we can button it. All right. So, process. Let's talk amongst the group for a moment about how comfortable you are with recognizing the difference between normal and not normal type behaviors. Language, thinking, processing, remembering. On a scale of 1 to 10, rate where do you think you are with knowledge and assessment skills of normal and not normal aging? Scale of 1 to 10. It's your comfort level. It's how, you know, on a scale of 1 to
I don't know. Yeah, still beginner. I mean, I may
There's a lot
eke
to
toward
learn.
5, but there's still a lot to learn.
Yep, okay,
To
a
really,
5.
to really
Yeah.
fine line it, you know.
Oh, yeah.
I think right now I'm probably at like a 6 or so,
Okay.
just because I, for 6 months, lived with somebody with dementia.
Experienced it.
Yeah.
Actually, lot.
You see it on the
Yeah, and then
Yeah.
I do have older parents, and so my mom is very aware of, her mother had Alzheimer's, and so she's very aware of when she can't think of a word or when she can't remember something that happened or something like that. And I'm like, well, it's normal. You're
Normally,
70 years old, but it's
Don't
not
remind me.
anything near. It's not anything near where Grandma was.
Yeah.
And
So
things
you,
like that.
you
So
see the
it's,
differences.
yeah.
So what are some of the key things you can listen for, look for, and consider that would help you tell the difference between normal and non-normal?
A filter.
I think
Some
probing.
people don't have those already.
Yeah, I think probing for me, just one of the points she made was just helping them probe the time element. Like, when did this happen? And if they go, well, of course, that was yesterday. That's like an indicator, okay, we have to do a little bit more work here. Is that, right, is that true? Like, is it coterminous with what reality is? Were they really working for J.C. Penney yesterday? Or was it 30 years ago? Because a lot of the dementia or brain illness patients that I approach, understanding that now a continuum, some of them think of their work history, oh, I just, quit working there, or I just retired yesterday, and today, you figure out, oh, it was 30 years ago.
Yep, absolutely.
Right, so the time issue for me is one of those that helps
Okay.
differentiate, is it normal aging versus,
Okay.
Nobody's coming.
Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't come.
That's okay. So think of 1 or 2 situations where you could look for, listen for, pay attention to the possibility of not normal where you live or work. Share with us, or share with each other, specifics of when and where you will practice your skill of recognizing what is not normal aging and identify at least one specific thing you'll be noticing.
I'm just put questions on
It's think of one to two situations where you can look for, listen for, pay attention to the possibility of not normal where you live or work. Share with the group the specifics of when and where you will practice your skill of recognizing what is not normal aging and identify at least one specific thing you will be noticing. So basically anywhere.
Anywhere we go.
Yeah.
So you're gonna look and say, oh, that's not normal. Based on what you're looking at. Yeah, okay? Alright, move on.
I'm gonna take you through and see how many things you picked up on that I know. Let's see how good you are. You're pretty good, I bet. So when I answered the phone, did I actually know exactly who I was speaking to? So I was unable to take the voice print and match it to the person that I know. So the challenge here is I covered a little bit. Hey, sweetheart, of course I do. Yeah, Betty who? Because I got the Betty, she told me Betty, but even with Betty, even with the name, I couldn't get across to the other side of my brain, recognize the voice print, and go, oh yeah, that's who it is. I had to have help to get back across and find the last name and hook it into the picture that I have in the back of my brain. My wiring's not working quite right. Now that could have been a stroke. It could be inattention. It could be that I know a lot of Bettys, or it could be that something started to go wrong with my wiring. Okay? Now the next thing that happened.
Got stuck in a place of time that she can't get out of.
We're going to meet at the mall
That's a good one.
at 2 o'clock. What happened to the word Macy's and my association with that new store?
Macy's isn't there.
It's just not there. I can't, there's no connection. The new data did not get wired into my hippocampus. I'm not able to hold on to the word, connect it with a location, and make it be something I could find. So when I go to the mall, what signage am I going to be looking for? JCPenney's. And so I will go right by that mall, and I will keep driving, because I know that it's got to be here. I can go over 300 miles. And then when I find the JCPenney's,
That makes
I don't recognize number one, how far, and it's, I think, going out, probably 15, 20 minutes. I mean, it's just slightly, a little bit longer. I have no idea how dangerous I have just made my life and how challenged you are by what I'm doing, because I can't hold on to that data because my hippocampus is not necessarily registering accurately. So this is why we have so many of those things where people get turned around. It's my wayfinding that's challenged by this. Now again, this is a highly vascularized blood supply area of your brain, so it's high risk for strokes, but it's also one of the very first places that for many types of dementia we see damage. And so the challenge is they can't figure out how to get from place to place. Once they're in a place, once they get to the place, they recognize all the cues about the place. It's just getting there and getting back. And these can be, by mid-disease, these can be really familiar places. And so they're standing in the house, and they say, where's the bathroom? And your heart drops, because it's like, well, Daddy, it's right down the hall. Well, when did you move it to right down the hall? Because now what I have, do this. I have an overlay of this new data, but the old data is the house I grew up in. And I'm literally picturing the house I grew up in and where I would find the restroom. And this is not matching. And so I'm almost immobilized, or I'm frustrated because I thought it would have been right there. And so my question to you is, when did you move it? And what does your brain go? It's exactly where it's always been. Because these layers do this. These layers are clearly separated. Do this for me. They're starting to interlock and get messed up. And so if you look like somebody who was in my life a while back, I may make a mistake and think you are that person, because I'm losing the layering of time in my hippocampal area, just like I'm losing my space placement. Time and space are controlled by your hippocampus. and I'm starting to lose that skill and directionality. Can't do it. So the next thing that comes up, so we have that one, and then the next one. I like caramels and you like, now, I want you to take this one. The first words people who have cognitive change almost always lose, they almost always lose nouns first. They lose the names of things because they're highly specific and you have to get to a particular location and then you have to articulate it. One is getting it in and the other one is processing, the other one's getting it back out. So you have, it's really complicated. You've got to receive, you've got to process, you've got to send out. This is all these guys together. But let's look for a word, push it up like this, but I can't find it. So here's what I want you to do. When you have not normal, go like this. Yahoo!
Yeah.
This is my attempt to describe the word. What do you notice about how far away from the word I am? Pretty far away. And so your brain is going, huh? Because when you described the word, it was a short circle. There's actually a term for it. It's called circumlocution. I talk around the word. So I called it a brown hairy ball in the brown stuff. And I can tell most people in this room, if you've never heard me do it before, your brain automatically went, ooh, what? Because in your mind, for 90% of you, you went to a sexual image and it wasn't pretty. Admit it. Many of you don't want to admit that's what you actually pictured in your mind. You pictured a ball. It was small. It was hairy. And it was covered in brown stuff. And you were not thinking coconut in chocolate. You were thinking gross and disgusting, and I hope I don't have to clean that up. Especially caregivers, you were for sure thinking this. But let me ask you, what does the outside of a coconut look like? It's a brown, hairy ball. And what I was trying to do is describe coconut, but I couldn't find a lot of the descriptors, and so I had to go to the outside of the coconut, realize that I'm describing it visually. A brown, hairy ball in the brown stuff. Then I lost the second word, chocolate. And so I'm left with the brown stuff is vague. So I want you to do this. I'm looking for something. I want to tell you something. You know, the whatchamacallit, the thing that it is. You know, the thing that is the thing that goes around the thing. You know what I mean? The thing that you put in. The one who comes by and does the thing that he does with the thing. And you're going, I have no idea what you're talking about. Because your brain, if this is what I'm doing, your brain is going, how about this? How about this? How about this? How about this? And your brain's going, there's too many options. I don't know what to pick. Your brain's, I don't know what you're talking about because we're expecting this. That's not what you got. And so this is frustrating for who? Both of us. We are both incredibly frustrated by this lack of skill. We get so frustrated that we get stupid about it. Turn person, I stepped your partner because you may have switched up. I want one of you to say, I need something. Go ahead and say that.
I need something.
And I want the other person to spontaneously react to that. What do you need? Yes, what did you just ask them for?
Money.
I want you to realize how stupid you are.
You need money?
I want you to realize how dumb
Money.
that was.
Money.
What do you need?
They said to you, I need something. Obviously, if they could have thought of the name of the thing they needed, what would they have said? I need a...
You got a lot of money.
So what did you ask them?
Well,
The thing they couldn't do it.
I can't see it.
Why do you think they didn't do
I'll
it?
show you something.
Because they couldn't think of it. Now what you're expecting is this. With dementia, good luck.
Okay, the video's over. So, couple things. What are some features you noticed in normal aging? Once again, normal aging. You forgot.
Yeah.
Normal aging?
Normal aging.
Normal aging.
Just kind of reviewing what we've learned
Just
today.
more hesitating.
More hesitation,
Slower to process.
slower process.
Just take it before you leave.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, think before you leave.
Hesitate more.
Hesitate more.
Pause when word finding. One day we'll give you guys a test. We partnered up, and one person was the person with dementia, the other person was the person administering the test. And what you did is you had a piece of paper, the person that administered it, all they did was every time you mentioned an animal for 2 minutes, you put a check mark, a hash mark down. If you repeated that animal, you took a hash mark away. And what we found during that process is, you know, if you live on a farm, you might start out with farm animals, horses, donkeys, but then all of a sudden you run out of farm animals and you stop. And you go, oh, pets, okay, pets, I'll pull that folder out, dogs, cats. When you run out of those, pause again, because now you're thinking of your next folder you want to pull out. And you can actually see people pause and know that, oh, well, people with dementia, those folders aren't there.
So it's not as easy as they make it, or it sounds.
It's not, it's really not. It was interesting that we did that. So what are some features you noticed in the not normal aging scenario?
The no filter,
No filter,
paranoia,
paranoia,
forgetfulness, times 10.
about stuck in the moment of time,
Yeah, moment of time was the big one.
confused between past and present, and really unable to do as before. Ever think what people feel like when they can't do what they're used to being able to do? I mean, I'm 71, every once in a while I think, I don't like driving high anymore. I used to drive everywhere. So, normal signs may not always be dementia, but always should be checked out. We tell people all the time. You could have a hearing impairment, a visual impairment, acutely ill, a new medical illness, medication problems, interactions. There's all kinds of things could mimic dementia. So from everything that was covered in today's class, share with us 2 things you learned about normal aging, 2 things you learned about not normal symptoms, 2 things you found out about ways of getting data into your brain, 2 things you are now thinking about people living with dementia and why they might be behaving, talking, thinking, acting like they do. So 2 things you learned about normal aging. 2 things. Anybody?
Yeah, you lose the 0.5 to 1% per year processing after 25.
Okay. Anything else? Okay, how about 2 things you learned about non-normal symptoms?
The skill goes before the strength.
Okay,
And the left side of your brain is attacked faster and sooner than the right.
okay. Anything else?
Loss of the time element.
Loss of time element? 2 things you found out about ways of getting data into your brain.
It's more like using all our skill.
Yeah, all the
Auditory,
five senses.
visual,
There you
all
go.
the senses.
Yep. 2 things you now are thinking about people living with dementia and why they might be behaving, talking, thinking, and acting like they do.
When they're losing their brains, they're trying to fill in the gaps.
Yeah.
The wiring paths are frying, so it's hard for them to recall, retain.
So how will what you've learned today impact how you explore the possibility of normal, not normal situations?
I don't know, I think the education just makes me more sensitive to it, more aware or acutely aware of it, and how to approach those individuals that are showing some signs of not normal aging, or
And maybe second thoughts about
how we interact
maybe
with
this
them.
is normal.
Right.
Yeah, versus
Is it normal
dementia.
versus that? Yeah.
Yeah. So, describe at least 1 to 2 situations that you have experienced that were clearly normal aging, and 1 to 2 that were, as you now think about it, not normal. So 1 to 2 situations that you've experienced lately that were dearly normal aging, 1 or 2 situations.
I like my mom in the car. She couldn't retain.
There you go.
I was overwhelming her with one
Too
word.
much stimulus.
Yeah.
So that's normal aging that we learned today, right? And then 1 or 2 that were, as you think about it, not normal. Mike, do you have any of those from the residents, the patients, and people you visit with at the memory care centers?
all the time.
Yeah.
So a lot of our veterans who are not close to hospice,
Mm-hmm.
but as Bobby and I sit down with them, we're recognizing gaps, like large gaps,
Mm-hmm.
and we're both musing to each other. I wonder if they're on this trajectory, on this decline.
Well, it'd be interesting to see now that you've gone through the training,
Mhm.
when you go back to those coffee with vets, to see if you notice it, maybe be able to morally describe or say, yeah, you know what, looking at Joe, he's definitely got some dementia versus, Joe's just, that's normal aging. And you'll be able to hopefully.
We already have recognized that just in our conversations with you, we've already recognized. And then we've compared them from 6 months ago when we began, and now we've seen 6 months of change.
That's awesome.
Like remarkable change.
Mm-hmm. Huh,
Well, then like the volunteer that called me yesterday saying that the patient she was seeing didn't recognize her and said, you killed my mother, you killed my brother,
yeah.
and it was, she had no idea who she was.
She wasn't, she
Yeah.
did this with her before.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And you heard that in the video today, training.
I know really.
So share with the group something you're going to do differently after today. Just take a few minutes to practice the specific thing you want to change in your core behaviors.
I think more patience.
I was just thinking.
Great.
Yeah.
Slow down.
Absolutely.
Just slow down. Yeah.
Slow down,
Trying
yeah.
trying to use more of the senses to get across to them, or help them, support them.
Sure.
I mean, I think some of it is just that going slow and being patient. I think is real, and just listen and don't judge. I mean, I think there's certain ones like Mike was saying in our Coffee with Vets that share the same story every single time. But I think it's the one story that they have been able to hang on to all this time. They may not remember a bunch of other ones, but
They may
And I
not
think
have
that
thought of it
feels-
30 days ago.
I think that it feels comforting to them if they can recall something like that, that they're, maybe they're not slipping, they're not,
It's kind of sometimes tell me if you agree, Bobby, a passive permission giving for them to, kind of like begin where they are,
right?
even if it is the same as
Same
last month.
story as it were.
But to them, it's current,
Mhm.
right? So we almost in a sense, and maybe it's not the right way to say it, but we passively like give permission for them
To share the same.
to like unpack their own story as they can recall it, and not add to, well, you said last month.
Right.
We just let them share
let
their
them share
story
it.
as they're able to recall it. And
Yeah.
what's interesting is just like us, if we're in a mood, we don't unpack everything.
Mhm.
But if they've eaten, slept well,
Maybe a different.
have good social engagement, there's more, let's say, freedom.
Yeah.
To kind of like, what do you call that? Just, sometimes there's debate between two people and they're talking and they're just making up their story as they're going.
Yeah,
I don't know what the kind of competition that is, where they free form.
Improv?
No, but they
Confabulation.
kinda,
Confabulate stories.
well, I just noticed that when the veterans who are aging in place, as we're seeing them, they're the silver tsunami. When they say, oh, I had a great breakfast, and then they come to our group, they have a different disposition
Uh-huh.
than they do if they haven't
Oh.
eaten.
You can
They're
tell
less
they,
anxious.
you can tell they rested better that night.
Yeah, rest of that.
Yeah.
So right, there's some circumstantial pieces that surround it that contribute, but
Interesting.
we are watching these veterans change,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And even though they may not be appropriate for us at the moment, we see that they're on that path.
So the question I have for the two of you, you've been with them for a while. So their story started out here and progressed. Have you seen the beginning of their story disappear and a new start to their story? Because remember, their memory is going to disappear slowly. So, Joe's, his typical starting out was, yeah, blah, 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 blah. And so many months later, instead of blah, 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 now it's, oh, and the blah, blah, blah is gone because that's no longer up here. It's gone. He's losing more and more of the story. Have you noticed that?
Yeah, and
I
some
think
of
it's
them,
some, yeah.
Yeah, and some of them become less confident in the
Sharing.
sharing
Yeah.
because they're aware.
Yeah.
Let's just say they're still cognizant of the fact that pieces are missing.
I'm losing. I can't tell the story anymore
Yeah.
because so I'm not gonna share.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they'll even say, I can't recall all the details.
Yeah.
Whereas previously, 6 months before,
They were just
They
they would just free form it.
yeah, like they had like bullet points,
Mm-hmm.
and now it's just a general vague.
But I think it's interesting, Mike, and I noticed this in some of our communities, is where we have individuals like that that share the same story every month. You know, if we come around and we're doing interaction and they share the same story again, you can notice some of the individuals in the group that are kind of like,
Get
Here
irritated.
we go.
Yeah.
very irritated.
Yeah.
And they don't have the appreciation of, hey, just go with it. Just go with let it go. It's not important.
We had somebody like that yesterday at a presentation that we did. Yep.
And they'll tell us by looking at
After
Bobby
the-
or I,
Uh-huh.
right?
Don't call
They'll
them,
tell
just-
us.
And he'll tell us
Just
outside,
don't
don't call on them again.
Yeah.
But it's interesting that you do it once a month and they're getting frustrated by
Just
hearing the
that.
story once every month.
Yeah.
I'm
I
not
mean-
sure how many times they've said it in between though.
Correct.
They see vendors daily, Monday through Friday.
True.
Different vendors. So
Okay. Yeah, it's like,
Or,
I'm
or
with this
other
for
people in
Or
the
other
community where
residents.
they live,
Yeah.
who've
Yeah.
given them
The same.
space to
Space,
unpack
space,
their
space,
story,
yeah.
right?
Okay.
But that's the one thing I love about this, is dementia and brain illness continues their story, right? Their story is continuing.
Mhm.
They may not be able to recall all the details.
Yeah.
But I know the more opportunity they get to share their story
And interact.
Figure it all
and
out.
interact, it helps their life, it betters them than it does if they're alone in their room,
Yep.
no one to talk to.
Because it's all about the stimulus and the companionship at the end of the day. That's what I always think about. Is like,
And even in this, don't you think that even in the sharing, they start to recall things?
oh yeah,
Yes.
I think it helps them.
I think so.
It puts them a little more at ease, and plus I think it makes them, I don't know what bring, you talked about the cortisol dumping and all this kind of thing, but I think it just helps them when they can share and they feel confident in sharing and comfortable sharing, and you don't have those negative responses. I mean, because when Mike, runs one of these groups and these leads us, there's never a judging situation. It's always just, compassionate. Hey, thank you for your service, appreciate you sharing, it's always positive feedback, and I think for a lot of these individuals, that may be the one thing they do every month that gets them out of their room, that gets them interacting with others, and that's, at the end of the day, that's what we're there for, is companionship.
Absolutely.
And we keep on trying to tease out
More detail.
more detail, and as they do, they do.
They
Do you
can
ask
they can
different
start to pull.
questions?
Yeah, so we're more like story architects. We're helping them
Prompting, prompting.
unpack it, and tell me more about that incident.
Mm-hmm.
And I know, because I heard them last month, that they shared,
A little bit.
that makes me remember, I didn't know if I told you this detail. Yeah, you told us last month.
Yeah.
But it's the idea of having them say it.
Yeah.
Not me that I'm seeking
me.
more information, but have them unpack it,
Yeah.
right? We're teasing it out, like we're helping them get to like the arc in their story or the conflict,
Yeah.
where they showed, amazing courage to overcome these odds.
Yeah.
How their life has changed because of it.
You guys are making a big difference.
Well, we're giving them the opportunity to, I say fail, but that's not the right word, but when they do stumble on their story or they
It's
do
okay.
stumble with their recall, it's okay. We go on to something different, and maybe we come back and Mike asks another question, it prompts them a little differently, but it's, this should be a judgment-free zone, basically, is kind of what we talk about. It's like, we're just here to share, and whatever stories come out, whatever memories you have that you can add to the story, that's what it's all
think
about.
about-
And to the undiscerned listener who may be impatient, they might point out, wait a second, you're in conflict with your previous story.
Yeah.
And we're like,
It doesn't
no, it doesn't
It
matter.
doesn't matter.
Like, we're not there to correct your story.
Right.
Well,
We're there to help you on
Because I wasn't there with you, we weren't there with you. We don't know.
think about what you said about mouse. You click the
Oh, yeah.
mouse. We experienced what you guys are talking about all day today with the buffering.
Mm-hmm.
Think about the buffering. It's exactly.
You can get frustrated with it, or you
This,
can
well,
just go.
this has got dementia. This career's got dementia.
All day we're dealing with video
And
dementia.
this is
Yeah.
not early onset. It's,
No, this is.
Normal aging.
It's not normal aging.
I mean, throughout the thing, I'm thinking, this is just like dementia.
That's
It's,
true.
it's,
That's a good
it's
point.
getting lost. And then, oh, Oh, blah, blah, blah.
It wakes back up.
Yeah, so anyways, Mike, you wanna shut that off for me?
That's all, sir.
I
That's good.
really appreciate you guys, I appreciate you coming back, and